First Democrat, then independent, and now potentially libertarian. Just a few weeks ago, Robert Kennedy Jr. was in North Carolina trying to get on the ballot as an independent running for president.
But Kennedy now says he's considering the Libertarian Party. We're digging deeper into what that means for the election and what may be behind that thinking. In mid-January, RFK Jr. roused his supporters in Raleigh. He was confident he would get the signatures required to get on North Carolina's fall ballot as an independent for president. However, I sat down with Kennedy just before his speech, and there was confusion as to just how many signatures he actually needs. In order for you to get on the fall ballot in North Carolina as an independent presidential candidate, you need to get roughly 83,000 plus signatures in order to do so, correct? I'm not asking who this is. A quiz? No. I'm not going to ask you to confirm that. I've confirmed it with the Board of Elections.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
It's 1.5%.
13,757.
So that's as a party.
I don't think that.
Several hours later, his campaign acknowledged the total was just more than 83,000 and not 13,000.
I know you're trying to get over 80,000 signatures on to be on the ballot. How do you feel about that? Do you think you'll make that by Super?
Yeah, we will get all of our signatures and then some.
But that may give us a signal as to why running as a Libertarian candidate, which is an established party, might be easier than getting all the signatures needed in each state. This comes as a new Morning Consult Bloomberg poll has Trump ahead of Biden in the swing states, including North Carolina, by 13 points. Kennedy gets 9% of the vote.
People typically tend to go to their political corners by the time of Labor Day in September and the general campaign starting. But these are worrisome signs if the president is this far behind. How much effort is going to be needed in some of these states? Political scientist Michael Bitzer says Democrats only have to look at the Bush-Gore race to be nervous. If Ralph Nader, a third-party candidate then, had not been on the Florida ballot and his votes would have typically gone to Al Gore, we would not have had the 2000 presidential issue that Florida presented. But Kennedy told me he doesn't see himself as a spoiler.
I intend to win the election. I intend to take votes away from President Trump and President Biden, but also what we're seeing is that a lot of my voters are people who would not have otherwise voted.
Yet Bitzer says it's the basic rules of American politics. You don't necessarily win a majority. You have to win a plurality. You have to win one more vote than the person who comes in second. And then you get all of the electoral votes oftentimes in the states. And that just inherently sets up a two-party system and also designs third parties to indeed be these spoilers that I talked about. So to remind folks at home, maybe scratching your head, where did Russ come up with this 83,000 State Board of Elections? It's 1.5% of the total voter turnout in the last statewide election. That's how we get to that number. That's by state statute. That's state law.
So does this mean he will be the Libertarian nominee?
Not necessarily. The Libertarian Party will have, just like the RNC and the DNC, exactly. They'll have their big convention, right? And it's up to them to nominate who is going to be the nominee or vote for who will be the nominee. So no guarantees.
We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, we got a lot to watch in the months ahead, folks.